what I have to share with you today has got to be the most important thing that I have ever brought to you so far, because it has the power to completely set you free. What I'm talking about is revision by Neville Goddard. So what is revision? Revision is where you take an unwanted event that has already happened in the past and you replay it in your imagination and you recreate it to be something you actually wished had happened. So how does revision work? Are we actually changing the past? No, we're not physically changing the past because the past has been and gone. We can't physically change it. All that's left of the past is our memories and other people's memories. There is nothing else left of the past. And we know that everything that happens in the future is as a result of our imagination. Every thought that we think, every belief that we hold has a direct impact on what happens in the future. And the problem is that people are being held captive by what has happened in the past, because what people do is they replay the past over and over again in their imagination, replaying all the negative things, telling themselves that they are this negative thing or that negative thing, and what manifests in the future, what they're thinking in the present moment manifests in the future. So if we can change our memory of what happens in the past to be something positive, we will stop this constant loop of negativity that is manifesting our futures. And a lot of people don't really like the concept of revision because they think it's like lying about what actually happened in the past. But what would you rather have? Would you rather believe in this negative past and create this negative future, or would you rather have some new memories in your head that might not be what actually happened but will give you a positive future instead? I know which one I would rather choose. An alternative to revision is simply to let go of the past, but a lot of people really have a problem with letting go because where did it go and what replaced it? So what revision is replacing the event that you didn't want with the event that you did want, because you have to have some kind of memory of your past, and nature abhors a vacuum. So if you get rid of one particular type of memory, you let go of it, you have to have something that replaced it. When people ask you, how was your childhood? And you've let go of the negativity, there has to be some memory in there that tells you what kind of childhood you had. So all revision does is let go of the past, the negativity, and replace it with the new, the positivity. I've done this with my own childhood. I used to have a very negative view of my own childhood. I got into a lot of trouble and I was very ashamed of my childhood, and then I revised my childhood and created a positive version, and now all I have is the positive memories. It doesn't mean I've completely wiped out all of the things that have happened in my childhood, but that I have now focused on the good parts of my childhood, on the positive aspects of my childhood. So my overall general memory of my childhood is one of positivity now. And this is just like forgiving people instead of holding on to that resentment towards people and you keep yourself a prisoner. This is a way to help you to forgive and let go of that past hurt and create a new positive future for yourself and set yourself free. And when I let go of that negative childhood and created that positive childhood, everything in my future completely improved as a result. All of my relationships with family, with friends, they all improved as a result. If you've ever done any kind of shadow work, you might have come across inner child healing or inner child therapy. And this is the same concept. With inner child work, you go back to your childhood and you rewrite it, you revise it, and you give yourself what you needed as a child. You give yourself the love, the support, and the kind of childhood that you would have wished for. So not only can you go back to your childhood and let go of things that are really hurting you in the present moment, but you can actually use it in your everyday life. You can revise your day as it's going along, or you can get to the end of the day and you can revise the day that's just gone. I did this very recently and I talked about this in a different video. We were applying for planning permission on our side garden and it was refused. And not only was it refused, they said there's no appeal, you can't reapply again, that decision is final. And I revised that event in my imagination. I replayed it as if we had been given the planning permission, and within a couple of weeks we were told that somebody was now looking at our case again. They were revising it themselves. And then just last week we were told that our planning permission has actually been approved. So they changed their minds and the situation was revised. You can use this with anything in your life. It is so powerful. If you don't believe this, put it to the test. I guarantee it will change everything for you. So how do you do revision? This is the way Neville Goddard teaches us to do revision. He encourages us to get to the end of our day and replay every single conversation, all of the meetings, all of the events of the day, and then notice the ones that are negative in our minds, and then revise them and recreate them and imagine them as we want them to be. Then replay them over and over again in our imagination as the revised event. When you do this, you are manifesting your future. You are literally changing the events that will happen in the future as a result of what you believe about the past. And you can either do this just in your mind as you remember the day, but if you are likely to get distracted, as I sometimes do, then I encourage you to write it down. I write everything down. I love journaling. It really keeps me focused, and I do this at the end of every day. I go through a process called the Reality Creation Journal, and in this journal I write down the challenges that I have experienced or the things that I have been thinking negatively about in that day, and then I rewrite them and I loop them over and over again in my imagination, and I do that also as I'm going to sleep. And you can get my Reality Creation Journal inside of my Business Manifestation Club, and I also have a free trial for 7 days at the moment, so go and check that out by clicking on the link below. I have also created a guided meditation that will help you to do this revision. It walks you through the process, so go and check that out as well. And if you'd like to manifest more fame, followers and fortune, then I have a Manifestation Milestones board pack that you can get hold of for free by clicking on the link below. I would love to know, have you ever used revision and what were your results? Are you going to try this? Leave me a comment below. And now it's your turn to go and put your stamp on the world.